with them, and they gave him to me because I desperately needed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the way he operated never bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like very matter of fact, very, hey, here's what we need to do. And I never had any issue with him, but other people did, and I coached him through those. As he went through that, I said, hey, when you talk to these people, this is how you talk,
Mm-hmm.
And so he's a phenomenon, and I think that, and I mean, keep that off the record, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that the success of that change is because of him, and and I think Nick really has really risen to it and is comfortable. And I think Nick understands who Andy is and what he does,
Mm-hmm.
and he's real happy to keep him around, which is smart.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not threatened by that. And I think Andy was disappointed at first
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted the position, and he certainly had earned it. But, for vice president of that role, they didn't want an Andy, they wanted a Nick.
Yeah.
Because of, a lot of reasons. And I think Andy's accepted it and, said, hey, I'm still 30 years old or 29 or whatever, and I've got a good job and I make a good salary and they're paying for me to get my PhD. So, and I had that talk with him, here, and he got it.
Yeah.
And, but I think, primarily it's working because, I looked at it, Chris Owen looked at it, Ken Engel looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Engel's very much I don't care what we're doing now. I want to know what we're going to be doing a year from now. I want to know what we're doing 2 years from now. And he looked at it, he said, this thing is already getting away from us,
Mm-hmm.
which it was a little bit. I don't think it was as bad as they may have thought, but it was starting to get away from us, and it was really going to get away from us if we didn't do something. And again, it's just a management, it's like a machine. It's just, how are you going to get all these students? I mean, they were giving us 500 new students the week before, drop ad, the week before the first day of class, it was just, and then wanting to know, what did you do wrong? Why couldn't you get them registered? It was that kind of thing. The thing's just exploding. And so it had to, pardon me, I've got to put this on my lip, pardon me. It was just exploding, and I saw it. I was like, why not do now what you're going to have to do as a stopgap measure when you're in real trouble a year from now? You can see it coming. It's coming. Why not just do it now? Why wait? And Nick had worked for Roy before. And then he worked for Kent for a while, and he had been here for a couple of years. And so he was kind of their obvious choice for that type of person. They wanted like a front-end salesperson, essentially. Like an admissions person, but a real high level, like that could talk to the high level people and would be comfortable with our world, our tribe. Is it's a weird tribe. It's a tribe, like our tribe is like a 33-year-old pastor who wears cutoffs and has a church with 10,000 people. It's a weird tribe, and that's our tribe. I mean, that's the tribe we're making inroads in. And so Nick is your guy for that. He's the guy that can talk to them. It's comfortable, no problem. I get you. We get it. We both wear expensive shoes. Whatever it is. And so it's a weird tribe in higher ed. A very strange tribe. And so that's the. We went through that struggle, challenge. Chris saw it. I saw it. Kent saw it. Roy saw it, but he wanted to delay it, and we had the conflict. They brought Nick on, and Nick had Andy. And Andy, Andy's hired some of the best people we have on this campus. You know, he's hired way up from where in my humble opinion, some of our deans have hired. Andy understands that, you know, we don't have to look at other Assemblies of God colleges to find people to hire. At this point in our history, we can go for a national search and bring in people with experience and bring in people with great credentials. And we hired 2 chairs from Asbury College. Well, Asbury College is, I would call that an aspirational college academically from where we are. I would look at Asbury like, wow, I'd love to be more like them academically. We've hired 2 of their department chairs. Andy's hired them both.
And he hired them for within the unrestricted education area. So they work they work separately to develop curriculum, oversee faculty, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like even with that idea, there was conversations happening. Did those conversations happen at the team level, like with the whole team, or were those conversations between you and Roy and Chris?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, both. Team level and you know, the way we've done it, our culture, which is our favorite word, our culture has been, don't bring anything sensitive that could be construed negatively about a team member to the table. Talk to that team member first, try to work through it, and then if you can't work through it, you know, you can talk to Chris or talk to Kent you can bring it to the table at some point. But that's been our culture in the past. I think it's changing now and becoming a little bit more gloves off at the table, a little bit more with the new people coming on. That's certainly not Jeff Spears. That's not his style. You know, he's new. I think of him as new. He's been here for a year. I guess he's been here a year. He's more just, you know, kind of have a problem with, you know, one of the people working in, you know, IT, and we haven't done that in the past. We've been more, well, you have to go to the person first, and which I really don't want to do, but because it takes so much more time, it's so much more labor intensive. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably pretty typical for people to be sensitive about their area, dirty laundry being aired without them knowing about it beforehand. I would say that's fairly common.
Yeah. Maybe this relates, but can you think of a time when, well, maybe it's different, but, you know, in terms of the ideas that come forward at the leadership team level, can you think of a time where someone either disagreed with Dr. Engel or someone else on the team, and how, you know, is there that conversation at the table, and if so, how is that received? So, like, if there's an idea that's kind of disagreed with, or, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, we've had some really bare-knuckle brawls. So that's different. I mean, if it becomes like a really, you know, I've been polite for 6 months and I'm tired of being polite, and now I'm going to tell you what an a-hole I think you are, you know, or whatever it is. I mean, we've had some of those, a few of those. Kent, I think his style's changed a little bit. I think he used to react pretty, you know, I think he used to, maybe he'll do it again next week, but he used to call people out at the table and, you know, depending, like if he called me out at the table, my reaction would be, absolutely, yes sir, I'll take care of that, no problem. I see what you're saying, I will handle it.
Yeah.
Some others would be like, right in his face, like, I don't want to talk about this now. I'll talk about it with you later. And then it escalates, you know, or it has at times. Or no, you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, then it escalates. So it just, you know, again, I think the way it ran yesterday was probably a good example of